Previously, BuildABot took 200 trades in the direction of the trend in less than 2 hours and made almost $2,000 in profit. That's almost a 2% gain in just 2 hours. If it can make money by taking random trades in the direction of the trend, what can it do with a high win rate trading indicator? What if I ran the trading bot for 24 hours with a strategy that got a high win rate after testing 100 times on the Trading Rush channel? So I ran BuildABot for 24 hours straight with the highest win rate trading strategy, and I can't believe what happened at the end. BuildABot took the first trade on USD CAD, and the trade immediately made a loss of $200, and then the trade was down by $400. Then BuildABot took a new trade on AUDUSD, and it must be Bill's bad luck again because the price decided to move in the opposite direction as soon as he entered the trade and made an unrealized loss of around $500. But then BuildABot got overconfident and decided to take another trade on the USD CAD pair when the pair is already making a loss. There is a big problem with BuildABot. You see, I told BuildABot to risk around 1% per trade this time, and I also told him to look for MACD entry signals on 10 different pairs using the 5 minutes time frame. But since the market moves in a similar pattern, BuildABot encountered the first big problem. Similar market movements were generating similar entry signals. When BuildABot was not taking trades, it was not taking trades for a long time. But when it was taking trades, it was suddenly taking multiple trades in a short period of time, which was a bad sign. But when BuildABot decided to take another trade on the already losing pair, the broker rejected the order because of insufficient margin. Risking around 1% per trade was using almost 50% of the available margin. Suddenly the lack of margin was a good thing as it was stopping BuildABot from taking multiple similar trades at the same time. If BuildABot can make a significant amount of money in 24 hours, it will not only be better than 95% of traders, but it will also show us something really interesting at the end. The second trade BuildABot took almost made a loss of $1,000, but since the stop loss I told BuildABot to set was at a good distance away from the entry price, the price reversed just before triggering the stop loss. But then Bill's bad luck caught up and got the price overexcited again because the price on odds started to make sudden big moves. The trade BuildABot was holding for more than 2.5 hours, unfortunately, was gone in a matter of few minutes because of a sudden big move. Not only that, but the strong sudden move made trade lose more than $1,258, which is more than what we anticipated. Now BuildABot not only has to recover from this loss, but it also has to deal with sudden big moves for 24 hours straight. Let's see if it makes money. The first trade BuildABot took was still running even after 3.5 hours. Since there is no odd in USD CAD, this trade didn't make a loss. But then BuildABot decided to take another trade on odd pair, and this time there was a bigger problem. When BuildABot took the trade on odd JPY, the profit started with negative $500. This is bad because it means we are taking trades in the wrong time zone. There is a good time to trade and there is a bad time to trade. Since BuildABot is taking trades 24 hours straight, it has now entered the bad time zone where spreads are horrible and the price movement is bad. This means that stop losses will be triggered easily and the profit targets will not. By taking trades for 24 hours straight, BuildABot not only has to deal with this nonsense but also has to make money with a lower win rate in this time zone. If BuildABot doesn't take many trades in these bad hours, the win rate will get better as the spreads will get lower, otherwise BuildABot has a big problem. The price in these bad market hours stayed in the sideways direction for the most part, made a move towards the stop loss at one point, and then actually made a move in the entry direction. But unfortunately, the spread was so bad that when the trade triggered the profit target, it only made a profit of approximately $470. Which is not even 0.5%. But by the time the price on the very first trade decided to touch the profit target, the spread got better and the USD CAD trade actually made a profit of approximately $1,000. But then BuildABot took a trade on a USD pair that immediately started to make a big loss. It touched and crossed the 1,000 loss limit by not one, not two, but 3 times, and at this point, I thought something was wrong with Bill because he was not closing the trade, but no. Bill was so confident in the MACD's entry direction that he decided to take another trade on the same pair, and it actually worked. But that's not good enough. Bill made almost $2,000 by taking random trades in the last video, but if the MACD strategy has to prove its 60% win rate, Bill the bot has to make even more profit in the remaining 12 hours, even with the big spreads. But then I noticed a bigger problem. After leaving Bill the bot to trade on his own, I didn't look at the screen for more than 12 hours straight, which was a big mistake, because when I came back, Bill the bot took a short trade on the GBP-JPY pair. Nothing looks wrong at first. The price made a good move in the entry direction and touched the profit target, but for some reason, the trade only made a profit of $900 instead of $1,000. Something was wrong. So I did some digging to find out where the $100 were disappearing and realized that Bill the bot successfully told the broker to take a short trade at 150.916, but for some reason, the broker decided to take the trade at 150.897, which turned $1,000 profit loss into $890 profit and $1,100 loss respectively. This should not have happened. Bill the bot was looking at the last ask price while taking 200 random long trades in the previous video. But when I wrote the new code for this experiment, I forgot to tell Bill the bot to look for the last bid price instead of the ask price while taking the short trades. So now Bill the bot not only has to survive the bigger spreads in bad markets, but also has to make a significant amount of profit in 24 hours, while making $1,000 in a long trade, but only making $900 in a short trade. Luckily the next trade was a long trade on USD pair, but unfortunately Bill the bot took short trade on a similar USD pair, and on top of that, the trade that made the loss was the long trade, resulting in a loss of $1,000, but only a profit of $800. It must be Bill's bad luck because the next trade was also a short trade, but this time Bill also took a long trade on USD CAD. A short trade only made a profit of around $900, but this time the long trade made a good profit of $1,004. This is when Bill the bot entered the best time to trade zone where the spreads were lower and the price movement was good. Unfortunately Bill the bot took a short trade on AUD-JPY and only made a profit of $900 instead of $1,000. But then something interesting happens. Bill the bot took a long trade on the USD CAD pair and the trade quickly makes a loss. Then a few minutes later, it takes another trade on the same pair in the same direction and actually makes $1,000 in profit. This was one of the short trade Bill the bot took where the price was moving in the downward direction. Bill knows the price is in a downtrend by looking at the 200 period moving average. The trading bot took a short entry at this candle when the MACD gave a short crossover above the zero line. Bill decided to set the stop loss at a good distance away from the entry price, which in this case was above the 200 period moving average resistance. If the price decides to move towards the stop loss, it will have a difficult time crossing this moving average resistance, which is good. But not all trades were good. This is a trade I would not have taken in the live markets. Bill the bot took this trade because of the MACD signal, but this setup is actually not worth trading because the price was choppy, then lost momentum, and is starting to move in the sideways direction. Then Bill the bot found one of the best trading setups, where the price was in a good downtrend and near a breakout resistance, and this trade actually made a good profit. I downloaded the transactions of the last 24 hours and opened it using Excel, and looks like Bill the bot lost money at the beginning, then made a small profit by winning trade in the bad market where the spreads were bigger, then recovered the loss. Then the balance graph made a good move in the upward direction, and kept going in the upward direction for a few hours before making a good amount of loss, but then made an excellent profit. By taking trades for 24 hours straight with the highest win rate trading strategy we have tested on the Trading Rush channel, Bill the bot was able to make more than $5,000 in profit. That's more than a 5% gain in just 24 hours. If it can make 5% in 24 hours, what will happen if I ran the bot for an entire week with the highest win rate trading strategy we saw on the Trading Rush channel? Let's find out in the next episode.